You can see a shirt there with an Argentinian flag. There's some more Argentina, what they call celestial blue and white. And Pope looking awfully chipper this morning after spending the last 2.5 days in the United Arab Emirates. He just came back yesterday evening. He's looking awfully fresh. It's hard to know how he does it at 82 years old. Really is a grace. There he's signing some items there. Look almost like linens for a mass, or possibly even flags. Lots of rosaries being held out to him. And this is the weekly general audience from the Paul VI Audience Hall in Vatican City. I'm Alan Holdren, the Vatican Bureau Chief for EWTN, here with Benjamin Crockett, who's our digital strategist and who's been overseeing also all of the live programming that we broadcast on our Facebook pages and is also going out on other pages. Ben, can you tell us a little bit about where people can see this if they're catching the live broadcast, and how they can comment if they'd like to send a message?
Yes, absolutely. So hello, everyone. I'm here in the studio with Alan, and we are broadcasting this on our EWTN Vatican Facebook page. We would love to invite all of you to follow along and comment. Facebook and social media in general are amazing tools for EWTN and for kind of sharing the message and spreading the evangelization. So we're sharing this in English on the EWTN Vatican Facebook page, and you can find it on EWTN, on Catholic News Agency, on the National Catholic Register, on Church Pop. So those are a lot of different pages that are kind of sharing this. We're also sharing the Spanish feed on Aci Prensa, on EWTN Vaticano, on EWTN Español. We're also currently broadcasting this on Periscope, so on our Twitter feed. So if you want to check out our EWTN Vatican Twitter, you can get all of the latest updates and see the live broadcast there. We're also sharing this on YouTube. So these are all different tools that we have to share EWTN's message and to kind of talk about everything that's going on here from kind of the Vatican Bureau. Social media, what's so remarkable about it is it allows us to communicate with all of you directly. So you can reach out to our journalists here in the Rome office. We have Hannah Brockhouse and Courtney Grogan working for Catholic News Agency. And so we're always sharing their latest articles. And we're really trying to build a digital community. And the kind of the renaissance, or the new technology that's really kind of come into being these last 15 years with social media has allowed us to communicate with all of you directly, and at the same time allow for you to then reach out to us and share your prayer requests. Every Friday at St. Peter's Basilica we have a mass, and we kind of offer up all the prayer requests we get throughout the week. So we want you to know, we receive hundreds and hundreds of them every week. So we're praying for you, and we're really trying to build a beautiful digital community that's in communication with each other and really promoting the work of the Church. We also at the EWTN Vatican Bureau are working on Instagram. And Instagram's a fantastic social media platform that allows us to distribute video and photo content. So these are all, different aspects of our work. We're very much at the Rome office. We're very much a multi-dimensional office where we're publishing in Spanish, in Italian, and English. So please, if you haven't already, check out our social media pages, just so you guys have an idea of kind of the impact that EWTN has around the world. Last year, we received 4 billion impressions, and we reached 1 billion unique individuals.
And here we're beginning the general audience. The Holy Father will extend a blessing and make the sign of the cross as this general audience gets underway.
Nel nome del Padre, del Figlio e dello Spirito Santo. La pace sia con voi.
Peace be with you and with your spirit. Now we'll hear a Bible reading in the different languages that are represented here at the General Audience. Reading from the book of Genesis.
Dopo il diluvio, Dio benedisse Noè e i suoi figli e disse loro: siate fecondi e moltiplicatevi e riempite la terra. Del sangue vostro, ossia della vostra vita, io domanderò conto. Ne domanderò conto a ogni essere vivente e domanderò conto della vita dell'uomo all'uomo, a ognuno di suo fratello. Parola di Dio.
We'll continue hearing this in the different languages. This reading is a brief one from Genesis. It speaks about each of us having to give an account of our lives after we die.
Il leur dit: soyez féconds, multipliez-vous, remplissez la terre. Quant au sang, votre principe de vie, j'en demanderai compte à tout animal, et j'en demanderai compte à tout homme. À chacun, je demanderai compte de la vie de l'homme, son frère. Parole du Seigneur.
A reading from the book of Genesis. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. For your lifeblood I will surely require a reckoning. Of every beast I will require it, and of man. Of every man's brother I will require the life of man. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Lesung aus dem Buch Genesis. Dann segnete Gott Noach und seine Söhne und sprach zu ihnen: Seid fruchtbar, mehrt euch und füllt die Erde. Von jedem Tier fordere ich Rechenschaft und vom Menschen. Für das Leben des Menschen fordere ich Rechenschaft von jedem, der es seinem Bruder nimmt. Wort des lebendigen Gottes.
Lectura del libro del Génesis. Después del diluvio, Dios bendijo a Noé y a sus hijos, diciéndoles: Sed fecundos, multiplicaos y llenad la tierra. Pediré cuentas de vuestra sangre, que es vuestra vida. Se las pediré a cualquier animal. Y al hombre le pediré cuentas de la vida de su hermano. Palabra de Dios.
Leitura do livro do Gênesis. Depois do dilúvio, Deus abençoou Noé e os seus filhos e disse-lhes: Sede fecundos, multiplicai-vos e enchei a terra. Pedirei contas do vosso sangue a todos os animais por causa das vossas vidas. E ao homem, igualmente, pedirei contas da vida do homem, seu irmão. Palavra do Senhor.
قراءة من سفر التكوين. بعد الطوفان بارك الله نوحا وبنيه وقال لهم: انموا واكثروا واملأوا الأرض. أما دماؤكم أي نفوسكم فأطلبها، من يد كل وحش أطلبها، ومن يد الإنسان من يد كل إنسان أطلب نفس أخيه. كلام الرب.
Czytanie z Księgi Rodzaju. Później, po potopie, Bóg pobłogosławił Noego i jego synów, mówiąc do nich: bądźcie płodni i mnóżcie się, abyście zaludnili ziemię. Upomnę się o waszą krew przez wzgląd na wasze życie. Upomnę się o nią u każdego zwierzęcia. Upomnę się też u człowieka o życie człowieka i u każdego o życie brata. Oto Słowo Boże.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buongiorno. Nei giorni scorsi,
Dear brothers and sisters, good morning.
Buongiorno.
In the last few days, I made a brief apostolic voyage to the United Arab Emirates, a short but very important trip that was connected to the encounter of 2017 in Al-Azhar in Egypt, and it wrote a new page in the history of dialogue between Christianity and Islam, and in the commitment to promote peace in the world on the basis of human fraternity. For the first time, a pope went to the Arabian Peninsula, and Providence wished that the Pope was of name Francis. 800 years after the visit of Saint Francis of Assisi to the Sultan al-Malik al-Kamil. I've often thought of Saint Francis during this trip. It helped me to take in my heart the gospel, the love of Jesus Christ. While I lived the various moments of the visit, in my heart there was the gospel of Christ, the prayer of the Father for all of his children, especially for the most poor, for the victims of injustices, of wars and misery. A prayer that dialogue between Christianity and Islam may be a decisive factor for peace in the world of today. I thank from the bottom of my heart the hereditary Crown Prince, the President, the Vice President, and all of the authorities of the United Arab Emirates, who welcomed me with great courtesy. That nation has grown much during the last decades. It's become a crossroads between the East and the West, a multi-ethnic and multi-religious oasis, and thus an adequate place to promote the culture of encounter. A big recognition goes to the Bishop Paul Hinder, the Apostolic Vicar of Southern Arabia, who prepared and organized the event for the community, the Catholic community. And my thanks extends with affection to the priests, the religious, and the laity that encouraged the Christian presence in those lands. After private conversations, I had a conversation with a priest there, a private conversation with a 90-year-old priest who founded so many communities there. He's in a wheelchair and he's blind, but he keeps his smile and his faith, and it was really good for me. There are so many priests that are there at the service of the Christian communities, of the Latin Rite, the Syro-Malabar Rite, Syro-Malankar, Maronite, that come from Lebanon, India, and from the Philippines, and other nations. Beyond the discourses in Abu Dhabi, we made a bigger step. The Grand Imam of Al-Azhar and I signed a document on human fraternity, in which together we affirmed the common vocation of all men and women to be brothers. We affirmed the common vocation of all men and women to be brothers, insofar as sons and daughters of God. We condemned every form of violence, especially that which is dressed with religious motives. And we committed ourselves to spread in the world the authentic values and peace. This document will be studied in schools, in universities, in many different countries. But I also suggest that you read it, that you know it, because it gives a lot of different ways to move ahead in dialogue for human fraternity. In an era like ours, in which the temptation is strong to see a conflict between the Christian and Islamic civilizations, it's also to be considered religions as a source of conflict. We wanted to give a different sign, clear and decisive, that instead it's possible to meet and it's possible to respect each other and to dialogue, and that even in the diversity of cultures and traditions, the Christian and the Islamic worlds appreciate and protect common values: life, family, a religious sense, honor for the elderly, the education of young people, and others. In the United Arab Emirates, there are about 1 million Christians, workers that come from different parts of Asia. Yesterday morning, I encountered a representation of the Catholic community in the Cathedral of St. Joseph in Abu Dhabi. It's a very simple church. And then, after this encounter, I celebrated for all of them. There were so many of them. They say that within the stadium, there was capacity for 45,000. And then there were so many big screens outside the stadium, and there were about 150,000. I celebrated the Eucharist in the stadium of the city, announcing the Gospel of the Beatitudes. In the Mass, concelebrated with the patriarchs, with the major archbishops and the bishops present, we prayed in a particular way for peace and justice, with the special intention of the Middle East and Yemen. Dear brothers and sisters, this trip pertains to the surprises of God. We praise Him and His providence, and we pray that the seeds that have been sown will bring fruits according to His holy will. Thank you.
So
the general audience continues then in the different languages. We hear summaries here first in French, and then we move on to English and German, Spanish, Portuguese, Arabic, Polish. This is the tradition after the Pope returns from an apostolic voyage, as he speaks about it. And in this case, he was in the United Arab Emirates from the 3rd to the 5th of February, so he left on Sunday afternoon, and he came back just yesterday evening, Tuesday. And the first half of the trip was dedicated to relations with Islam. He went to meet with the Crown Prince at the Presidential Palace. He also met with Muslim elders, something called the Council of Muslim Elders. That was a private encounter, and then there was a meeting for interreligious dialogue as part of this human fraternity conference that brought religious leaders from all across the world, not just the Arab world, but especially the Arab world. There were Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, at least 12 different confessions were present. You can tell this really made a mark on the Holy Father. He dedicated much of his catechesis at the audience today on that theme of the dialogue between Christians and Muslims, saying that this first ever visit of a pope to the Arabian Peninsula was inspired also by the 800th anniversary of the visit of St. Francis of Assisi to the Sultan of Egypt back in that time, for the same purpose, to dialogue with the foremost exponents of the Islam faith, the Islamic faith. So in this case, the Holy Father had that opportunity, and coming from that was a document that will be known from here forward as the Abu Dhabi Declaration, and it lays out sort of a map for what the Pope and the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, which is Al-Tayyib, based out of Egypt, what their view for how relations should move ahead should be. And a lot of it is based on education and common values, dignity of life, peace in the world, justice, mercy. It's a very compelling document, very interesting. And the Pope invited us all today to check out that document. If you'd like to check out CatholicNewsAgency.com, there's information about that document there in an article published just the day before yesterday, and also on the National Catholic Register. Both are services of EWTN. Also on the Vatican's own website, vatican.va. You can check out anything that the Pope does, says, and there also you can find that document, the Abu Dhabi Declaration, that would have been from February the 4th. So the first half of the trip was dedicated to that, and the second half of the trip was dedicated to the Christians there, the Christian community, Catholics. They met with the Holy Father for a major Mass yesterday morning in a stadium in Abu Dhabi that seats 45,000 people, and there were another 100,000 plus people outside. They estimated the total crowds were 180,000 for the first ever public papal Mass on the Arabian Peninsula. Quite the turnout. And here the Holy Father is greeting the French pilgrims that are present there at the general audience. He said he's happy to greet all of the pilgrims that have come from French-speaking nations. And he greeted, in particular, a group of young people from Marseille, 245 young people and their chaperones, teachers. There you see them dressed in white and waving. These are students of Le Corbière, I'm sure. I'm not saying that correctly, but they've all come on their annual visit before exams. And there's the greeting to them. All 16 to 18 years old, from the same high school. And the Holy Father asks that the Holy Spirit help us to promote a true culture of encounter, and insofar as we're sons and daughters of God, to make fraternity among men grow, thanks to respect, dialogue, and prayer. Now we hear the English language summary and greeting from the Holy Father.
Most Holy Father, the English-speaking visitors and pilgrims present today wish to express to you their sentiments of respect and esteem, and to assure you of their prayers for your ministry as a successor of Peter. At the end of the audience, we will sing together the Our Father in Latin. The words are found on the back of your ticket. The Holy Father will then impart his apostolic blessing, which he willingly extends to the members of your families at home. His Holiness also intends to bless any religious articles you may have brought for this purpose, And in a special way, his blessing goes to all children and young people, the elderly and sick, and those recently married. The following is a summary of the Holy Father's words this morning. Dear brothers and sisters, I have just completed a brief visit to the United Arab Emirates. Brief, but important, for it marked a step forward in interreligious dialogue and in the commitment to promoting peace in the world. This was the first papal visit to the Arabian Peninsula and took place 800 years after St. Francis of Assisi visited Sultan al-Malik al-Kamil. The providence of God wished to see a pope named Francis make such a journey, and I thought often of the saint, for it helped me keep the gospel and the love of Jesus Christ close to my heart. I thank the Crown Prince, the President, the Vice President, and all the authorities who welcomed me, and Bishop Paul Hinder for preparing the event with the Catholic community. My affectionate thanks go to the priests, religious, and lay faithful who enlivened the Christian presence in that land. Beyond all the speeches, one further step was taken in Abu Dhabi when the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar and I signed the document on human fraternity. There we affirm the common vocation of all men and women to be brothers and sisters as children of God. We reject every form of violence, especially that committed in the name of religion, and we dedicate ourselves to defending the authentic values and peace in the world. Let us pray that the seeds sown during the visit may bear much fruit according to his holy will.
Saluto I pellegrini di lingua inglese presenti all'udienza odierna, specialmente quelli provenienti da Inghilterra e gli Stati Uniti d'America. Su tutti voi e sulle vostre famiglie invoco la gioia e la pace del Signore. Dio vi benedica.
I greet the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors taking part in today's audience, especially those from England, the United States of America. And upon all of you and your families, I invoke the Lord's blessing of joy and peace. God bless you.
Heiliger Vater, die Pilger und Besucher aus den Ländern deutscher Sprache bekunden Ihnen, dem Nachfolger des heiligen Petrus.
Here the audience continues with German language summary and greetings. The Holy Father dedicating today's catechesis to his recent trip to Abu Dhabi. Just last week, his catechesis was dedicated to the trip just prior to that. Just 10 days ago, he came back from Panama City, where he was for World Youth Day.
Zum Schluss dieser Audienz singen wir gemeinsam das Vaterunser in lateinischer Sprache. Der Text befindet sich auf der Rückseite der Einlasskarten. Danach wird der Heilige Vater
When the Pope isn't dedicating these general audience addresses to his recent trips, he's been talking about the Our Father prayer and a new series of catecheses that he started just before Christmas, and he's been speaking about how to approach the Father, and I think we can expect he'll pick up on those catecheses again next week. There's no trip in the meantime to speak about, so he's been speaking about how we should look in an informal way to the Father as our dad. He actually used that word, Papa, to refer to the Father, to ask also Jesus, just as he taught the disciples after they asked, Lord, teach us how to pray. The same is valid for us and for our search for the Father, knowing that God the Father is always there waiting for us, and He's always waiting for us, and He knows us better than anyone else. This is a beautiful series on a prayer that all of us know and share. So this is just a short hiatus to dedicate to these recent trips that the Pope has made. There in Abu Dhabi, the Pope mentioned that there were over 100,000 people present for his Mass yesterday. That's out of a total of about 1 million Catholics that call the United Arab Emirates home. That's about 10% of the population there. Huge immigrant population. More than 200 nations are represented there in the population of the United Arab Emirates. But only the Emirati, the traditional Emirati people have the local citizenship. So there are some difficulties involved, and the Pope addressed the people, the Catholic people there, inviting them to be sort of a sign, to live the Beatitudes in life, to be the leaven of society. Also speaking with the foremost proponents of the Muslim faith there, and also from across the Arab world. He spoke about dignity and working together to achieve peace, especially between religions and between peoples. Here the Holy Father saying, may we pray to the Father for all humanity, that He may concede us peace in the world, and that He allows us all to grow in the knowledge and awareness of the fraternity among men. Here we've got a lot of Spanish-speaking listeners, viewers as well, and we're just going to listen in as the Spanish priest here, official of the Secretariat of State, gives the summary and greetings in the Spanish language.
Santo Padre, los visitantes y peregrinos de lengua española que participan en esta audiencia desean manifestarle cordialmente sus sentimientos de filial afecto, que acompañan con sus fervientes oraciones por vuestras intenciones de pastor de toda la Iglesia. Al final de la audiencia se cantará el Padre Nuestro en latín. Después, su santidad impartirá a todos los presentes la bendición apostólica, que extiende complacido a sus familiares, especialmente a los niños, a los ancianos, a los enfermos y a cuantos sufren. Bendice también los rosarios y objetos de devoción que los peregrinos llevan consigo.
Queridos hermanos, en estos días viajé a los Emiratos Árabes Unidos. Un viaje breve, pero muy significativo. Es la primera vez que un papa viaja a la península arábiga. Durante este viaje he recordado a San Francisco de Asís y su encuentro con el sultán Al-Kamil, del que se cumplen ahora 800 años. Me ha ayudado a tener presente el Evangelio y los pobres durante todos mis encuentros. Agradezco a las autoridades de los Emiratos Árabes Unidos su acogida, los fructíferos diálogos entablados con cada uno de ellas. Ese país se ha desarrollado mucho en los últimos tiempos, siendo un cruce de caminos entre Oriente y Occidente, y dando lugar a una rica comunidad multicultural. Hemos celebrado un encuentro interreligioso junto al príncipe heredero y a otras autoridades locales, con importantes intervenciones sobre el valor de la alteridad, el diálogo y la oración. También he firmado junto al gran imán de Al-Azhar un documento sobre la fraternidad humana, en el que juntos afirmamos la común vocación de todos los hombres a ser hermanos en cuanto hijos de Dios, y condenamos cualquier forma de violencia, también aquella revestida de motivaciones religiosas. Además, nos comprometemos a difundir en el mundo los auténticos valores y la paz. Finalmente, quiero recordar a la comunidad cristiana en aquellas tierras y a su obispo, Paul Hinder, vicario apostólico de la Arabia del Sur. Con ellos he podido compartir la Eucaristía, en la que hemos pedido especialmente por Oriente Medio y el Yemen. Saludo cordialmente a los peregrinos de lengua española, en modo particular a los grupos provenientes de España y América Latina. Cuando entraba vi que había muchos andaluces que saben hacer ruido. Agradezcamos al Señor este momento de gracia que ha sido el viaje a los Emiratos Árabes Unidos y recemos para que crezca la fraternidad en todos los creyentes en Dios, incluso entre estos y los no creyentes y todas las personas de buena voluntad. Muchas gracias.
So the Holy Father giving his own Spanish language catechesis there, and greeting in particular young Andalusians from southern Spain. He said they make a lot of noise, and then they made a lot of noise. So Ben, we're sitting here looking at all of the comments that are rolling in on all of our different channels, especially on Facebook. Can you give us an update on where people are watching from and what they're asking for in terms of prayer?
Yes, so we've reached on our Catholic News Agency feed. We've already received over 350 comments and prayer requests. So for me, that's always one of the great joys of our work here, is that we're able to directly kind of connect with all of you. So I want to say a special hello to Friar Prem de Souza, and he's commenting, "You are an instrument of peace. Long live dear Pope." I want to say hello to Mary Jemison. She's watching from the United States. Antoinette Bazuni, who's saying, "God bless Pope Francis." We also want to always kind of in particular say a special shout out to our audience in the Philippines. We always receive a lot of interactions and engagement from all of our viewers in Manila. There is a fairly strong contingent from Western Australia, from California. But just to give all of you kind of an idea of where people are watching from, just through the internet, we're able to engage with people from South Africa to Pakistan. We received some comments from the United Arab Emirates. Pope Francis, of course, was just there, so it's kind of amazing to watch some of our audience, who watched some of our live coverage from yesterday and the day before, join us for this general audience. We want to say, a special shout out to all of our audience and viewers from the Pacific Islands of Kiribati. A special hello to all of you. Some other people just to kind of say a special hello to is from Irene De Silva. Thank you for watching and joining us today for our general audience. Renat Quizon, thank you for your comments. But that's just on one page on our Catholic News Agency page, and we're receiving hundreds and hundreds more from on EWTN, on Achi Prensa for our Spanish feed. It's pretty remarkable, Alan. I mean, for me, it's always very, very moving to be engaging with our audience in this way.
And really, what we think of it as is an extension of the general audience, this crowd that's gathered there, just 7,000 people inside the Vatican's audience hall. But the social media and the broadcasts on our traditional television and anywhere else people can hear or see this really is an extension of the general audience to a larger forum, a worldwide universal forum. And that's really the whole point.
Yeah, no, and it's for me, it's really the greatest tool. I mean, here we're loving watching this broadcast and seeing all the young pilgrims, from France or from wherever they may be. But most of them, this is something interesting to think about. But the amount of time spent online, it's really kind of a fervent soil for evangelization and for just reaching out. And on one broadcast here that we're doing, we have 200 people joining us just online. We have many more on our Periscope feed on Twitter, on YouTube. We're working to make this possible also on Instagram. So on all forms of communication, it's an incredible opportunity for us. And just in the amount of time that we've been speaking, we have 37 new comments.
Yeah, it really is incredible. The way that we can interact with each other, and also the way that you can interact with your friends and family and people you may not even know, just by sharing this feed. And if you think that there's someone who could benefit from it, from the message that the Holy Father is sharing of peace, of human fraternity today, but also just this moment of prayer with him, to share a moment with the whole Catholic community worldwide. really you assist in that work by just simply sharing this with people.
Yeah, so this is, just once again a reminder to check out our EWTN Vatican Facebook page. We're on Twitter as well. We're on Instagram as well. We're we really exist to bring you all of the news and updates from the Vatican for EWTN. So please, if you can, if you're willing, share this. Give us a like. We want to increase, and be able to share this with as many people as possible. It's truly universal. Just here watching on my feed, seeing comments coming in. Eliza, I'm going to mispronounce this, I think, but Kere Tabua, watching from Fiji.
Amazing. The world is so small these days. So here, the Pope has given a greeting to Portuguese language pilgrims. He says, I wish for you to carry always in your hearts the love of Jesus, as Francis of Assisi did, and the prayer to the Celestial Father, and a prayer goes to the Celestial Father for all of his children, especially those who don't have peace. On you and all of your families, may the blessing of God descend.
ولشخصكم ولخدمتكم كخليفة القديس بطرس.
Here, this is the Arabic language summary, and this is from a man who accompanied the Pope throughout his visit to the United Arab Emirates over the last 2.5 days. This is Monsignor Ioannis Gaid.
وللمسنين وللمرضى وللمتزوجين حديثا ولجميع الأشخاص الذين يتألمون. سيبارك كذلك الأب الأقدس المسابح والأغراض الخاصة بالتقويات التي جئتم بها لهذا الغرض.
We'll go ahead and listen to, in case there's anyone listening in the Arabic language. This is important, especially off the heels of this trip.
القصيرة والمهمة جدا إلى دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة، واحة وأرض اللقاء بين الشرق والغرب وبين مختلف الحضارات والأديان. كانت الزيارة تهدف لتعزيز الحوار بين الأديان والعمل على نشر ثقافة السلام واللقاء على أسس الأخوة الإنسانية. إنها المرة الأولى في التاريخ التي يزور بابا الكنيسة الكاثوليكية شبه الجزيرة العربية في الذكرى 108 للقاء بين القديس فرانسيس والملك الكامل سلطان مصر. لذا شكر البابا صاحب السمو ولي عهد أبو ظبي رئيس الدولة ونائب الرئيس وجميع السلطات وكل شعب الإمارات على كرم ضيافتهم وحفاوة استقبالهم وعراقة أصالتهم. شكر البابا أيضا النائب الرسولي في جنوب الجزيرة العربية وجميع الذين ساهموا في إعداد هذه الزيارة وعملوا ليلا نهارا لإخراجها بهذه الصورة المشرفة. كما تقدم بشكر خاص لصديقه وأخيه فضيلة الإمام الأكبر شيخ الأزهر الشريف، والذي وقع معه على وثيقة الأخوة الإنسانية التي تدعو لعيش الأخوة بين جميع البشر كأبناء لله، وإدانة كل أشكال العنف واستغلال الدين والاستخدام السيء لاسم الله القدوس، وتأكيد الالتزام المشترك بنشر قيم السلام والعدل والمساواة بين البشر والمواطنة وحرية الاعتقاد. واختتم البابا زيارته بالاحتفال بالقداس الإلهي الذي شارك فيه بطاركة وأساقفة وكهنة وعدد كبير جدا من المؤمنين، وحيث صلى الجميع من أجل السلام في سوريا وليبيا واليمن والشرق الأوسط وفي كل العالم. والآن تحية البابا باللغة الإيطالية إلى أبناء الشرق الناطقين اللغة العربية.
Rivolgo un cordiale benvenuto ai pellegrini di lingua araba.
The Pope says he sends a cordial greeting to all those of the Arabic language, especially those from the Middle East. He's just come back from the United Arab Emirates, and it was marked by the sign of human fraternity. We ask that God help it to grow, to bear fruit, and to reach all. God bless all of those who made this apostolic visit possible.
أرحب بالأشخاص الناطقين باللغة العربية وخاصة بالقادمين من الشرق الأوسط على الثرى الطيب للإمارات العربية المتحدة. زرعت بذرة الإخوة الإنسانية. نسأل الله أن يجعلها تنمو وتثمر وتصبح شجرة تحتضن الجميع. ليبارك الرب جميع الأشخاص الذين جعلوا هذه الزيارة الرسولية ممكنة.
So if you're just joining us, the Pope is dedicating this weekly general audience to remembering the last several days that he spent in the United Arab Emirates, and particularly asking people to work on their own to support this idea of sharing values, of dialoguing with those who don't share the same religion we do, but to work together to promote the ways of peace and also human fraternity. And we're going to be listening in now to the Polish language catechesis. In particular, we greet all those listening in from Poland who are watching the broadcast by way of EWTN Polska.
Wszystkim nam tu obecnym, obejmując nim również nasze rodziny, dzieci, młodzież, a szczególnie osoby dotknięte cierpieniem. Pobłogosławi też różańce i inne przedmioty kultu, jakie pielgrzymi przynieśli ze sobą. Streszczenie katechezy Ojca Świętego. Drodzy bracia i siostry, w minionych dniach odbyłem podróż apostolską do Zjednoczonych Emiratów Arabskich. Krótką, ale ważną, będącą istotnym wydarzeniem w dialogu międzyreligijnym i w wysiłku krzewienia pokoju w świecie. Odbyła się ona 800 lat po wizycie świętego Franciszka z Asyżu u sułtana Malika al-Kamila. Dziękuję prezydentowi i władzom tego kraju, biskupowi Paulowi Hinderowi oraz tamtejszej wspólnocie katolickiej za otwartość, uprzejmość i troskę o godny przebieg tej wizyty. Wspominam rozmowy z księciem następcą tronu i muzułmańską Radą Starszych oraz ważne spotkanie międzyreligijne. W Abu Dhabi wraz z wielkim imamem Al-Azhar podpisaliśmy dokument o ludzkim braterstwie, potępiając przemoc, zwłaszcza o charakterze religijnym, zobowiązując się do szerzenia pokoju i pielęgnowania wartości, życia, rodziny, zmysłu religijnego, szacunku dla starszych, edukacji. Wczoraj rano spotkałem się z przedstawicielami wspólnoty katolickiej w katedrze świętego Józefa w Abu Dhabi i odprawiłem Eucharystię na stadionie miejskim. Głosząc Ewangelię błogosławieństw, zachęcałem wszystkich do odważnego wyznawania wiary i naśladowania Jezusa. Ta podróż należy do niespodzianek Bożej opatrzności. Chwalmy więc Boga i módlmy się, aby rzucone ziarno wydało owoce zgodnie z Jego świętą wolą. Obecnie Ojciec Święty pozdrowi nas, Polaków, w języku włoskim.
Saluto cordialmente i pellegrini polacchi.
Pope greets the Polish pilgrims.
Fratelli e sorelle,
brothers and sisters,
incontri con la gente di
the encounters with people from different continents, cultures and religions, like that in the United Arab Emirates make us aware of how important in the world peace, dialogue, and fraternity among men are. The measure of this are peace with ourselves, with our neighbors.
Domandiamo a Dio nella nostra preghiera quotidiana, fa di me uno strumento di pace.
Let's ask in our daily prayers that God make us instruments of peace.
Oto słowa Ojca Świętego. Pozdrawiam serdecznie pielgrzymów polskich. Bracia i siostry, spotkania z ludźmi różnych kontynentów, kultur i religii, podobnie jak to w Zjednoczonych Emiratach Arabskich, uświadamiają nam, jak ważną sprawą dla świata jest pokój, dialog i braterstwo ludzi. Wymiarem tych aspektów życia w każdym z nas jest pokój z samym sobą, z bliźnimi, ze światem stworzonym. W duchu hasła tej minionej wizyty prośmy Boga w naszej codziennej modlitwie. Uczyń mnie narzędziem pokoju. Niech będzie pochwalony Jezus Chrystus.
Santo Padre, I pellegrini di
Here
lingua
the
italiana
general audience for this week is wrapping up with the final greeting in the Italian language.
che accompagnano con fervide preghiere al Signore.
This Italian language official, who's an Augustinian priest, is greeting the Holy Father in the name of all the Italian pilgrims, and he says that at the conclusion of this encounter we're going to pray the Our Father in the Latin language, which is found on the back of anyone who has a ticket there, back on the ticket there for the general audience. And if you'd like to prepare yourselves to pray that prayer with the Holy Father, you may know it, or you may need to look online or look in a book and find that Latin language Our Father prayer. The Holy Father will also be blessing any religious devotional objects that anyone's brought, including rosaries, at the conclusion of this audience. And his blessing extends to those present and also those following in from afar. The Holy Father now making an appeal. He says that last Saturday, close to the archipelago of the Bahamas, a boat sank with dozens of migrants aboard who had come from Haiti and were in search of hope and a future of peace. My affectionate thought goes to the families who were tried by the pain, by the sorrow, as well as to the Haitian people struck by this new tragedy. I invite you to unite yourselves to my prayer for all of those who have dramatically disappeared, and for the wounded.
Sono lieto di accogliere I vescovi della Conferenza Episcopale di Basilicata.
My father is saying he's happy to welcome the bishops of the Episcopal Conference of Basilicata. That's an Italian region in the south.
I sacerdoti e religiosi cinesi a Roma per un corso di
Also
aggiornamento.
priests and religious from China who are in Rome
Saluto il
for
gruppo dell'Unione Giornalisti
a course.
Italiani, scientifici
And also
e
Italian
istituti
Journalists
scolastici.
Union members,
In particolare la scuola
and also
San Giovanni
schools that are
Battista di
present.
Roma.
There's Rome's St. John the Baptist School.
Questi ragazzi e ragazze sanno fare rumore, eh?
These young men and
Avanti.
women know how to make some noise, eh? He says, go ahead.
E la classe di studenti del liceo scientifico Pier Paolo Pasolini di Potenza. Saluto la delegazione della Fondazione Banco Farmaceutico
This is a group now the Holy Father is greeting from
che sabato 9
Pharmaceutical Bank
febbraio
Foundation.
nelle farmacie
We'll
italiane
be collecting
raccoglierà
pharmaceuticals
farmaci per le persone economicamente svantaggiate.
For the economically
Rivolgo un pensiero
disadvantaged this Saturday.
Ai giovani, agli
He
ammalati,
says he
agli
sends out a special
sposi
thought
novelli,
to the young people, to the elderly, and to the
A
sick.
tutti auguro che la visita alla
to
città
newlyweds.
eterna stimoli ad approfondire la
He
parola
hopes
di
that the
Dio
visit to
per
the
poter
eternal
annunziare
city
che
may
Gesù
stimulate
è il
and
nostro
deepen the Word of God,
e la nostra
to
vera
be able
pace.
to announce that
Grazie.
Jesus is our Savior and our true peace. Thank you.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Ania nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimite nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentatione, sed libera nos a malo.
Dominum Hovisum,
Et cum spiritu tuo,
sit nomen Domini benedictum,
ex hoc nunquo usque in saeculum,
aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
qui fecit celum et terra.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater, Filius et Spiritus Sanctus.
Amen.
So the Holy Father concluding with his apostolic blessing there, which extends to everyone who's watching or listening to this from afar. We also give you a final greeting and send our thanks out to all of those who are supporting this project, bringing the general audience to you every week. We've got Mark Jeffries, Michael Masney, and Veronica Arndt back in Irondale, Alabama, along with all the rest of the crew there that's providing support from EWTN headquarters. Also to Massimiliano Valenti, who makes this possible from our Rome office, and to Benjamin Crockett, who's joining me here in the studio. Thank you so much, Ben, for all of your input and your analytics.
Thank you, Alan, for having me. And just one last pitch to all of you watching on social media. We want to recruit you. We want you guys to be a part of these daily and weekly live events on our social media. So please share it. Please like it. Please join us next week.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. God bless you, and we look forward to joining you again next week for the general audience from Vatican.
O God, I love you with my whole